Joining us on this Sunday is Mayor Jared Kraham. He shows us the Town and Country Affordable Housing Project and tells us why it's so important. Plus, Mayor Kraham breaks down his police reform strategies that help bring down the crime rates and help recruit and retain more police officers for the department. And later, we get to know how he got involved in public service to become the youngest mayor in Binghamton's history. All that and more right now on In Focus. And we are starting off with Mayor Jared Kraham out in the city. Mayor, where are we?
We're here on the north side of the city of Binghamton at Town and Country Apartments, which is the largest housing construction project that's happening in the city of Binghamton right now. Tens of millions of dollars in construction, 256 units of affordable housing that are coming online to support our hardworking families. And we're on the construction site right now, and I think we're going to check out one of the units.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
So this is going into one of the other units that we have here. Sarah, I don't know if you want to give us kind of more of an update on some of the other work that's happening. It looks like it's being framed out, right, and everything?
Yep, so they have just finished some of their inspections for the rough-in and have put the insulation in, and the next step is, you can see they're fully stocked and ready to sheetrock. So as soon as they get the green light, they're going to put the sheetrock up.
And I was mentioning about the energy efficiency.
Yep.
I know the building standards that we want to hit here. Talk a little bit about that and what this is bringing compared to what was here previously.
So originally, as part of the plan, is we were putting the new windows in and doing the insulation in the attic. But when we removed the sheetrock, one of the additions that we did was add the insulation that I know you spoke about to add the insulatory factors for the units too.
Yeah, so this will be a modern, state-of-the-art type of construction that, again, what was here before was a property that had a lot of issues with crime, had a lot of issues with housing stability because the units were in such poor condition, and that's why bringing in a development team was so important.
This is amazing. I want one of the apartments, if I'm being honest.
Yes, that's right. No, they're going to be spacious, they're going to be brand new. And this is also, creating a lot of construction jobs as you, work through a construction project. These are folks that are building, they're suppliers, and this will be a huge boost for the north side of the city of Binghamton.
Why did you care so much about rehabbing this place and bringing life back to a community that had seen a lot of problems?
Yeah, so when we can make these investments in affordable housing, this is permanent affordability for our residents. So a place like this, which will be brand new, upgraded utilities, a low energy cost, and specifically safe, quality, affordable housing. That means that people are not rent burdened, the families that don't have to struggle and scrape together money every month for rent. It also means a brand new place that people can be proud of. For me, housing has a lot to do with dignity. People deserve to have dignity wherever they're living, whether you own a home or you're living in a rental space. And these 256 units are going to be coming online here very shortly, totally brand new and providing permanent affordable housing. And this will serve as a neighborhood anchor and community development anchor for an entire neighborhood. So these will be kitchen areas. All of these units are meant for families, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're a senior, a retired couple, or you've got kids, this is a great neighborhood to live in. But the housing that was here in these units really didn't match modern living. So these will have modern amenities. Everything will be brand new. Energy efficiency being put in. Before this insulation was there, and I was in these units prior to them being worked on, there was no insulation. It was just a cinder block wall, essentially.
Wow,
so
really?
you had, terrible energy efficiency, all updated windows that we have in these facilities, and the city was a proud partner on this project, providing not only funding, but also, working through all of the bureaucratic red tape to make this a reality. This is the largest housing project that we've seen in Binghamton in a very, very long period of time.
The other component to a happy, healthy community is year-round recreation. And the city found a solution for that as well. So, Mayor, where are we?
We're here at the city's first ever recreation center. We purchased this from a local church not too long ago, and it is a bit of a work in progress and a fixer-upper, but we're hoping that this can be the hub for all youth sports activities, recreational activities, really in the city. So we have classroom space here at the rec center that does summer fun and meeting space for our youth sports programs. We have a full-size gym that offers, during the wintertime, all kinds of cheerleading, football practices, baseball, basketball certainly. And we want this, again, to be the hub for summer fun. It's attached to a park. And so we're going to be upgrading this building over the next couple of years, really making it the premier youth recreation center here in Broome County. So we're going to be entering the main gym area, and this is where right now pickleball has taken over. The most popular, fastest growing sport in America. And so we have here is we have pickleball leagues. These are a lot of times senior citizens or local community members that are doing a pickleball here in the inside. It's about 5 degrees outside in Binghamton. We have an active waiting list for all of our pickleball courts. Again, this is just the adaptable, usable space that we have, having this full-time indoor facility that can serve youth, that can serve seniors in the community, and anyone looking to have a healthier lifestyle. So, one of the other aspects that we're really excited about is this facility being able to serve as kind of a community space. And so when we have youth sports programs or we have different practices or games, this also includes a full commercial kitchen that we'll be focusing on. So we have a kind of a food area. Again, this is all under construction and things are going to be working on over this winter time and heading into the new year. But if you think about what churches kind of used to serve as, back in the day when congregations were a lot bigger, it was a social event. It was a place where you went to have your wedding. It was where people used to gather. And so we've got this full commercial kitchen here that, again, is under construction, but a place where we can do community meals and banquets for youth sports, or the football team can get a good meal in before they go on a road trip, a travel trip. So this facility provides us a lot of flexibility. Not every recreation center would have something like this, but it's pretty neat, and again, something we're going to continue to invest in.
Coming up,
I think that people want to see an active police department.
Mayor Jared Kraham talks about efforts to reduce crime in the Polar City. In Focus, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We are now back at City Hall with Binghamton Mayor Jared Kraham. Thank you so much for having us here.
Of course.
Okay, so we just learned a little bit about some of your top priorities, which also included public safety. Could you talk a little bit about your efforts to help the police department with recruitment and also retainment?
Yeah, so at the core of policing, I think, in the United States is you have to have staffing. One of the core things that I think about with policing and keeping our community safe is community policing, and that's officers. They're getting out of their patrol car, that are walking and talking to businesses, handing out their business card to neighbors that are mowing their lawn. And these things take time and can't be done over the course of a normal shift in which you're responding to dozens and dozens of calls for service. So that level of community policing takes staffing. And what we've seen in police departments for decades is less and less staffing. The job of a police officer is harder than it's ever been before. And we have to both increase what we're paying our officers, but also make them realize and make people realize who may have never considered a career in law enforcement that it's a really worthy way to serve your community. It's a way that you can get into the state pension system and also give back. And that being a police officer is about more than just writing parking tickets or arresting criminals. There's a lot more to do that involves technology, that involves again, community relations, getting out there in schools, getting out there in the community. And so that's what we want to really have here in Binghamton. We've done great as it relates to crime rates in our city because of an emphasis on community policing, getting those foot and bike patrols back on neighborhood streets, because we don't want people, the only time that they ever see a police officer in their neighborhood is when they're responding to a crime or when it's maybe on the worst day that they're having. So getting our police into the community, it takes staffing and it takes manpower. And by building back the police department, we're hopefully on track to have full staffing at the end of 2026 for the first time in probably about 2 decades.
I was just about to ask you that. As of now, the next graduating class allows you that full staffing levels. And I know that this is going to be huge for Binghamton. Can you talk about the benefit for not only the police department and the morale, but also the people of Binghamton?
Yeah, I think that people want to see an active police department, and they want to see patrols, in their neighborhoods, and they also want to have the ability for people like detectives to follow up after crimes have been committed, making sure that we have folks that are utilizing the technology in our crime analysis center to solve crimes and really stay ahead of the criminal element here in Binghamton. So, police departments that are short-staffed, that has to do with morale as well. Of the men and women who serve. We want the best individuals to be serving in the police department. We want them to get time off when they need it. We want really a well-staffed department to be able to not only respond to the calls for service when they come in, that response time is prompt and that officers can spend a lot of time on each call, but also have those proactive community policing patrols, those hotspot policing, narcotics investigations that may take weeks and months to do. You can't do that if you don't have full staffing. So bringing up the police department to as near full staffing as we can is a huge win for public safety in Binghamton. And what happens in the city of Binghamton as it relates to crime has ripple effects all across Broome County, and I would even argue the southern tier, right? So if we can focus on crime in Binghamton, we can have violent crime drop, we can go after gun violence, go after narcotics trafficking. That will have a cumulative public safety effect across Broome County.
And, on that note, Binghamton, Broome County has been known for having one of the highest cities that has highest crime rate. But it has had the lowest crime rate over this past year, which is a testament to, your efforts. I'm wondering, could you talk about this accomplishment and how you are changing the numbers when it comes to crime?
Sure. What we've been able to do with crime in Binghamton is substantial. Violent crime is down significantly. Last year, we had the lowest crime rate on record in Binghamton, according to FBI statistics, and this year we're on track for even lower crime numbers. And I really attribute it to three main areas. First and foremost is that community policing aspect I talked about. Officers getting out of their patrol cars and interacting with residents, being known in the community, developing relationships with our downtown business community, as well as in the neighborhoods in the summertime as people are mowing their lawns or on their front porches, having those good interactions. It really sends a message to criminals that Binghamton is not a place that you're welcome and that we're going to work as a community to root out crime. The second thing has to do with an investment in gun violence reduction. Shortly after I became mayor, we utilized $1 million of our American Rescue Plan Act funding on targeted gun violence elimination initiatives. This joins a lot of the work that we're doing with New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services to really attack gun violence and gun crimes. That has led to a reduction. And lastly, it's the use of technology. License plate readers, street cameras, these are invaluable tools for our investigators to solve crimes. And we want policing from a technology standpoint to always be on the cutting edge. Those kind of three areas has really led to this reduction in crime, but at its core, a focus on community policing and hotspot policing.
And we spoke a little bit earlier about development, but we also want to talk about redevelopment and revitalization. Can you tell us a little bit about the Clinton Street First Ward project?
Absolutely. So Clinton Street is a historic, very walkable kind of downtown 2.0 in Binghamton. Obviously, the core of downtown Binghamton is known for its great restaurants and our thriving art scene. It's the center of government and commerce. But Clinton Street is kind of the secondary downtown. It has a historic footprint. It has lots of antique shops and historic businesses that have been around for decades and decades. It was a recipient of the governor's $10 million downtown revitalization initiative. And what we want to create there is a walkable, kind of eclectic downtown that can serve both new housing, can support the residents that live in that First Ward neighborhood, and be a regional destination for people to dine, to shop, and to walk, and really restore some of those vacant but historic storefronts that exist on Clinton Street, and create a new sense of community in the First Ward. This is a hardworking neighborhood in Binghamton that has seen divestment over the years, with factories closing and businesses moving out. And now we're starting to see a spark, and we're starting to see businesses move back in, and Clinton Street get a great reputation for a place that you can bring your family, you can enjoy some nightlife and some of the best restaurants and kind of iconic destinations that Binghamton has to offer.
I want to thank you so much for having us. I want to stick around because when we come back, I'd like to learn a little bit more about you personally.
Great.
Welcome back to In Focus. We are on location at Binghamton City Hall talking with Binghamton Mayor Jared Kraham. I'm so glad that you've had us here today.
Absolutely. Thank
Okay,
you.
so we're going to ask you some fun questions
Great.
now. Okay.
Can't wait.
First question. You are the youngest person in the history to be mayor in Binghamton. Can you talk about what inspired you to get involved in politics and do this job?
Sure. Yeah, I was the youngest person ever elected as mayor. I was 30 years old. I grew up in a household where government service was a part of it. My father was Broome County executive here from 1997 to 2004. So a lot of kids, their favorite memories from childhood is hitting a home run in Little League or going to Disney World. Mine was on election nights and finding out the results and kind of the excitement. So I kind of got caught by that political bug early. I didn't always want to go into politics. When I went to college, actually wanted to go into sports broadcasting. Still would love to do that, actually. But
I might have a job for you.
That's right. So, really saw what was happening in Binghamton right when I was graduating from college. There was a renaissance starting to happen here, like happened in a lot of upstate cities, where people were investing in these cities again and revitalizing housing and building, new businesses. Breweries were coming on board. People were choosing to live in downtown areas in a way that they haven't before. And so after college, I had some opportunities in some bigger cities, but returned to Binghamton to kind of be part of that revitalization. Started working at City Hall under the previous administration as deputy mayor, and so gained a lot of experience. And then when he was term limited, ran for mayor in 2021, was elected, and was just reelected about a month ago here for my second term.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, you are a Syracuse University grad, and what did you study? And you didn't turn out that way.
I was a dual major at Syracuse in political science and broadcast journalism.
Okay, so kinda.
Yeah, so I had the poli-sci background. I will tell you, the Newhouse School and broadcast journalism really honed my skills in terms of, understanding how to do public communications and how to, think critically about the issues that kind of face our state, our localities, and also to I mentioned this when I was running for mayor, the importance of student journalists in our political kind of environment, that these are young people that deserve to have a voice at the table. So as mayor, whether it's our high school or whether it's two of our local colleges, I always look to make time to speak to student affairs representatives or the college newspaper, because I was that student not too long ago at Syracuse trying to get elected officials to talk to me, and I wasn't always successful. So that kind of showed me the importance of really the voice for young people in our political process.
So what do you tell the students when you talk to them?
So I talk a lot about the idea of kind of starting small. I think a lot of the discussion about an excitement that young people have for politics is usually at the national level. They want to get involved in an issue of maybe the environment or gun control, or feel strongly about some economic policy. But really, I tell them, start at your local planning board. Get on an environmental advisory commission for your local town or village. And if you show up at meetings and you are reasonable and respectful, they'll be asking you to run for office within a couple years. And we just don't have enough young people that are engaged, I think, in local politics that want to throw their hat in the ring or solve issues that affect localities. A lot of the emphasis on young people is to go work for a national campaign or get involved in national politics. We really need people at the local level doing that.
Your parents own a furniture store here in town. Is that what is your passion? Is that kind of what is behind your passion for support of small businesses and trying to see a small community succeed?
Yeah, my first job really was working at my parents' furniture store, unloading trucks, putting together furniture. And you really learn the values of the small business community, the fact that the people that own these businesses every day are working hard to make payroll, are the ones that are creating jobs and really creating a sense of community. So, the summer that I worked there, I think it was 15 years old or so, it taught me a lot about kind of the plight of small businesses, and also too how hard these individuals work. As I mentioned, my dad was involved in public service. My mom really ran these small businesses that they had, and it takes a lot. And every day you're looking to make $1 out of 99 cents.
So true. What are your favorite things to do here in the city?
Well, me and my wife love going out to dinner. We have a great independent, locally owned restaurant scene here in Binghamton. There's really not enough days in the week to visit all of the restaurants. I'm a big fan of our local sports teams. During the summertime, you'll find me at a lot of Binghamton Rumble Ponies games with a hot dog and a beer. And I also love music. Music is a big part of my life. I try to go to as many live music performances that we have in Binghamton. We have an annual event called Porch Fest, which attracts thousands and thousands of people to our West Side neighborhood for live music performances. So I was able to actually perform in that earlier this year, which was kind of fun. But yeah, music and just going to as many community events as we can. There's so much to do in Binghamton.
Wait, there was a little hint in there. You said you got to perform there.
I did,
What
yes.
did you do?
I sat in playing guitar with a Grateful Dead cover band at Porch Fest this year. It was a lot of fun. I never get nervous for public appearances or speeches. I was very nervous before I was performing. So I did a couple songs. It was well received. I had a lot of fun, and we got some great photos from it.
Do you have any other hidden talents that we don't know about?
Not that I know of. I grew up, learning music. I play a couple instruments. Guitar has been the main one that I've carried on throughout, my whole life. But yeah, music is just an important part of, how I relax, how I, stay connected to, my favorite artists. And it's been a fun thing to see the music scene in Binghamton really grow, and it's so diverse too.
As I wrap this up, I wanted to just know, what are your top goals for 2026?
I would say, that Clinton Street revitalization is going to be a key goal as we head into 2026. Continue to focus on public safety, and really housing is, I think, going to be a key part. We have so many different housing projects here in Binghamton that are about to break ground or we need to secure funding for, and housing remains, the best way that we can deliver affordability for our residents. And those housing developments serve as the anchors for neighborhood revitalization. If we build the housing, a lot of the other economic development pieces kind of fall in place after that.
Binghamton Mayor Jared Kraham, such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming to City Hall today.
Thanks so much for watching this special edition of On Location in Focus in Binghamton, New York. I'm Jody Kenny. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. To keep up with important issues impacting our communities and hear more conversations with the people who are shaping the future, subscribe to our channel. You can also download our app or find Spectrum News on your TV for balanced, in-depth political coverage and more.